It started with a single, venomous sentence that sliced through the air like a hidden blade, turning my husband's birthday celebration into a battlefield where old wounds bled fresh. I stood there in our cozy Seattle living room, the scent of fresh-baked cake mixing with the sharp tang of betrayal, as my mother-in-law, Evelyn, locked eyes with me and unleashed her poison. "Mr. Reynolds, allow me to introduce my daughter-in-law, Sophia," she said, her tone laced with saccharine venom that fooled no one. "She's presently a jobless deadweight and a disappointing spouse who couldn't hold down even the most basic position." The words landed like a gut punch, stealing my breath and freezing time itself. The room, filled with laughter just moments before, plunged into a suffocating hush. I felt the weight of every gaze, friends, colleagues, strangers boring into me, judging, pitying. My face flamed with a heat that spread from my cheeks to my chest, a mix of shame and fury churning inside like a storm about to break. "Mr. Reynolds," Evelyn's superior at the prestigious tech firm where she served as a project lead, was a man of quiet authority, silver-haired, impeccably suited, with eyes that usually sparkled with sharp intellect. Now, those eyes narrowed into slits of ice, his posture stiffening as if he'd been personally affronted. What followed wasn't the awkward chuckle or polite deflection I'd braced for. "No, Mr. Reynolds," turned to Evelyn with a gaze so cold it could frost glass. His voice, steady and unyielding, cut through the silence. "Evelyn, consider this your termination." The declaration hung there, simple and final, like the toll of a funeral bell. Pandemonium erupted. Evelyn's complexion drained to a ghostly pallor, her lips parting in a silent gasp as if the air had been sucked from her lungs. Whispers rippled through the crowd like wildfire, guests exchanging wide-eyed glances, some edging toward the door as if the drama might contaminate them. I stood rooted, my mind reeling from the whiplash, one second the victim of her calculated cruelty, the next witnessing her empire crumble. My husband, Daniel, who had been chatting animatedly with his old buddies across the room, pushed through the throng, his face twisted in a rare fury. "Mom, what the hell did you just do?" he demanded, his voice cracking with disbelief. Evelyn stammered, her composure shattering like fragile china. It was just a bit of tough love, Mr. Reynolds. Surely you understand, family banter." But her plea fell flat, her eyes darting desperately for an ally in the room. Mr. Reynolds shook his head, his expression unmoved. "There's no humor in degradation, Evelyn. That's not the conduct I expect from my team. Pack your desk Monday, HR will handle the rest." As the guests began to scatter, Evelyn's coworkers mumbling excuses and avoiding her like a plague, the air thickened with the raw sting of her downfall. She turned to me then, her eyes blazing with accusation, as if I had orchestrated this twist of fate. But in that moment, a quiet vindication bloomed in my chest. Not triumphant, but a weary relief from months of silent suffering. This wasn't revenge I'd sought. It was the universe's brutal reckoning. And it tasted bittersweet. 3 months prior, on a drizzly Monday in early spring, my world had begun its slow unraveling. I was in my cubicle at the graphic design agency, sipping lukewarm coffee and tweaking a client's logo, when my boss called me into her office. Her tone was too gentle, too rehearsed, the kind that screams bad news before a word is spoken. "Sophia, we're downsizing," she said, avoiding my eyes as she pushed a severance packet across the desk. "Budget cuts." It's not personal, but it felt personal. 5 years of pouring my soul into designs, meeting deadlines through sleepless nights, building portfolios that won awards, gone in a heartbeat. The ache wasn't just financial, It was the hollow echo of purpose stripped away. That evening, I broke the news to Daniel over takeout pizza, my voice trembling as tears welled. He wrapped me in his arms, murmuring assurances, "We'll get through this." "Soph, you're brilliant. This is just a bump." His words were a balm. But Evelyn arrived the next day like a storm cloud, bearing a store-bought pie and her signature judgmental smirk. "Daniel mentioned your little misfortune," she cooed, setting the pie down with a thud that echoed her disdain. "Unemployed at your age? TSK. The market's ruthless for those without real credentials." Her barbs were subtle at first, cloaked in concern. "Maybe focus on homemaking for now, dear. Not everyone is cut out for the corporate grind." Daniel frowned but deflected mildly. Always the peacemaker, caught between his wife's pain and his mother's expectations. I swallowed my retorts, drawing from that deep well of patience ingrained in me, the kind where silence is armor, where enduring disrespect from elders feels like duty, even in this American suburbia where individualism reigns. But each visit chipped away at me, her words planting seeds of doubt. Was I truly a burden? Did Daniel regret marrying someone now adrift? Weeks blurred into a haze of job applications and rejections, Evelyn's advice escalating. "I know plenty of wives who juggle careers and family flawlessly," she'd say during uninvited drop-ins, her eyes flicking to our modest home as if it screamed failure. "Perhaps lower your sights. Entry-level might suit you better." Daniel defended me sporadically, but his hesitance stung, a quiet betrayal that amplified my isolation. I internalized it all, the psychological toll mounting, sleepless nights questioning my worth, the creeping depression that made even simple tasks feel monumental. Evelyn reveled in it, her control tightening like a noose, until suggesting we scrap Daniel's birthday bash. "With your situation, it's hardly fitting to splurge," she insisted. Daniel pushed back for once. "No, Mom. Sophia's planned this. It's happening," she conceded with a tight smile, offering to invite her work circle. "It'll be good exposure for you, networking with achievers." I sensed the trap but was too drained to fight, my silence a cage I'd built myself. The morning of the party dawned gray and foreboding, mirroring the knot in my gut. I paced our kitchen, second-guessing every detail, the streamers I'd hung, the playlist I'd curated, the outfit, a simple emerald blouse that Daniel loved. Evelyn burst in hours early, key in hand, a family spare she'd insisted on, rearranging everything with critical efficiency. "This layout screams amateur," she critiqued, shifting furniture like pawns in her game. "When hosting professionals, dear, standards matter." Her digs intensified. "Black coffee? Too bitter, much like unemployment." "I suppose." Daniel emerged, kissing her cheek but shooting me an apologetic glance he thought I didn't see, as she commandeered the setup. Her comments turned sharper, laced with warnings about Mr. Reynolds. "He's old school, values self-reliant partners, not dependents." Each word eroded my fragile confidence, the tension simmering like a pot about to boil over. By afternoon, I was a bundle of nerves, retreating to the bathroom to splash water on my face, whispering affirmations that felt hollow. Guests trickled in, Daniel's pals from college, easygoing and supportive, offering hugs that briefly eased the dread. Then Evelyn's entourage arrived, sleek professionals in tailored attire, toting high-end gifts. She paraded them, emphasizing Daniel's engineering role at a firm downtown, while introducing me curtly, Sophia, his wife. No more, no less, as if I were an accessory. The evening devolved into a minefield. Evelyn wove through conversations, dropping veiled insults. "Sophia's got time for hobbies now, unemployment perks." When a guest praised my hors d'oeuvres, she'd counter, "Yes, domestic skills shine when careers falter." Daniel's friends shot sympathetic looks, but Evelyn's colleagues nodded along, their discomfort palpable yet unspoken. A young intern mentioned her job hunt post-grad school. Evelyn gushed over her credentials. Then pivoted. Sophia dabbled in design too, until the layoff. No advanced degree, though, makes bouncing back tricky. I endured in silence. The psychological weight-crushing betrayal from Daniel's inaction. The public erosion of my dignity. As Mr. Reynolds arrived, Evelyn's excitement peaked, her eyes gleaming with malice. She steered him through introductions, building to me like a predator circling prey. Mr. Reynolds, she announced theatrically, drawing the room's attention. Meet Sophia, currently a jobless deadweight and disappointing spouse who couldn't hold down even the most basic position. The humiliation crashed over me, tears pricking as silence blanketed the space. But Mr. Reynolds' face hardened. Evelyn, you're terminated. Chaos ensued. Evelyn's pleas, Daniel's outrage, guests fleeing, her hatred fixed on me. You caused this. Daniel finally erupted. No. Mom, you did. In the aftermath, as Evelyn begged futilely, I felt the cost of my silence, years of swallowed pain, but also the spark of liberation. Her downfall wasn't my doing, yet it freed me from her shadow. 6 months on, I thrive as creative lead at Reynolds Tech. The offer coming via a personal call from Mr. Reynolds himself. Your poise that night spoke volumes, he said. My salary soared. Confidence rebuilt. Daniel and I grew unbreakable. His mother's toxicity exposed. Evelyn? Jobless. Isolated. Her arrogance costing her network and home. She attempted reconciliation once, mumbling regrets over coffee. But excuses lingered. I was insecure, she admitted, eyes downcast. Pity stirred in me, not forgiveness, but recognition of her self-inflicted ruin. We maintained distant civility for Daniel's sake, but boundaries hold firm. That night taught the steep price of cruelty. Evelyn paid with everything, while I rose from the ashes, scars and all. Justice, when it strikes, demands its due. No shortcuts, no mercy.